Alright, what's going on, my people? It's your boy Z Gaming. I'm back for another video on The Walking Dead Road to Survival. In this video, I'm going to kind of discuss the Armory a little bit, because one of my subs asked me to do an overview of it and to kind of help you guys out so I can tell you some of the stuff I know. And yeah. So, I mean, I guess I can't technically show you exactly everything at the moment because I got two things researching. But, basically, the way I would advise you to do the Armory is like I said I said it in another video. So say you have a weapon, for example, like this Desert Eagle. Now, see, I went ahead and added the HP before I got the stun. I would advise you always add a specialist first. I said this in the other video, like I said, but always try to get the specialist that you want first, because that way, even if the other two don't go critical success, you still have the main important stat, which is the specialist skill. So yeah, always try to do the specialist skill that you need the very first time. And the reason, like I said, the reason I say that is because if you don't get the specialist skill you want, then if you've already put HP and defense on it, you don't get the most important part, which is the specialist. If you just get the HP and the defense, then the weapon is only really for that. And you might not have the specialist skill you want, therefore you'll have to reset the weapon and do it all over again, versus if you just do the specialist first, you can keep resetting it until you get the specialist that you want. So always do the specialist skill that you need first. And now weapons, I would advise, let me see here, I can kind of give you some overviews of this. For all yellows, I would advise, for a defense team, I would advise that you always go with the ice axe. And the reason I say that is because it comes with a mandatory 30%, or not mandatory, but it comes with a guaranteed 30% right off the bat from the drop. It's a pretty solid weapon. I've farmed a couple of them in the past couple days. The ice axe is definitely the best weapon for yellows for defense, because of the 30% defense. The same thing goes with that. Add the specialist skill first. In my opinion, when you're on defense, it depends on the character you have, but if you have Yellow Shield Michonne, for example, go for Defender level 3. And the one that you want is either you want the reflect damage when defending, or you want Absolute Zero. Because Absolute Zero and Reflect are the best for the shields. And especially this Ice Axe is really good for Morgan, and my yellow 5-star Morgan as well. So yeah, go for your specialist skill once. Not once, but go for it as many times as necessary before you add the other buffs, because otherwise you're just wasting additional resources you don't have to. So like I said, the Ice Axe is definitely better for defense, and then when you go for offense, I would it depends on the character build you have. So let me show you this, for example. Say my yellow raid team that I have, I showed you guys before. It's this, well, where is it? This team right here. Kind of look, if you have a max character, like say for example, who can I show you? Okay, for my raid team. So see, since my raid team, Morgan's defense is pretty high and his attack's kind of low. I have this ice axe on him, but I guess that's a bad example. Sorry about that. Okay, Tyreese. So Tyreese, for example, he has a bunch of attack, but his defense is kind of lower. So instead of, I mean, yes, you can just give him a tactical knife and give him a 30% buff, but in my opinion, when you have a raid team, for example, you want HP, and HP is mandatory in my opinion for raiding, because you want the most amount of HP possible, and it also depends on the leader skill that you have for the team you're raiding with. And see, if I use Tyreese and I get that 30% additional, I'm getting a 60% additional HP bonus every time I raid, and that's a lot of HP for yellows, especially. I think after everything's said and done, my Morgan has almost well over it might not be 2,000, but it's pretty close to 2,000 HP my Morgan has with his weapon and Tyrese's leader, so that's quite a bit. It depends on the team build you have, but like I said, for raiding, I would advise that you upgrade the tactical knife and you take you either add a specialist skill for raiding, which is beneficial. You can get the impair when you hit them, or the stun, which you can stun the enemy on raiding as well, so that's pretty good. So yeah, for specialist on melee weapons for raiding, I would advise that you go for either the Specialist Raider 3 or add HP. The best weapon for greens is the Violent Katana. The reason I say that is because it comes mandatory with 30% attack and a very large bonus to AP when attacking. The only thing you really need to beef up on this weapon is either add that Specialist Raider skill or add HP. Other than that, it's a very solid weapon. Don't need to change too much. Andrea's rifle, or not Andrea's rifle, the military shotgun, you need to add either HP or defense or a specialist skill for defenders so you can impair the enemy or stun. I don't think you can get stun on this, but impair, I know you can get impair. But the best skill you can add, I believe it's Defender level 3 for Green Lee. You can get AP down when you take damage, so when an enemy attacks you, you have a chance of taking their AP down so their AR doesn't go off. Therefore, it makes it extremely hard for them to kill that Lee, especially with Andrea teams. I go against a player in my region that has it, and that Lee takes my AR away quite often, and it's pretty hard to kill him because of that. So it just depends on the team you're building, but I'm gonna kind of break this down quick, or not quick, but so when you're using yellows for defense, the ice axe is what you want to use. Greens for defense, you want to use either Michonne's Violent Katana or I would probably go with that because it has 20% defense and 30% attack, and you can add HP to it and buff up the defense if you want. And then you can add bonus defense and HP. So that's probably the best weapon for defense in my opinion. Like I said, that would be for a heavy hitter on your defense, like a green 5-star Michonne or something. If it's kind of just an all-around defense weapon, then the White's Club is the best bet because it has a I keep saying mandatory. I don't know why I keep saying that. Sorry guys, but it has a guaranteed 30% defense, so that's pretty good for that. And like I said, it all kind of depends on the team build that you're going for, but yeah, the armory wise, I would also advise you break down multiple weapons at a time because I've noticed that multiple weapon breakdowns at once yield better turnout than if you just do singles. I don't think I've ever gotten a duct tape or anything I've needed from a single disassemble, but when I do multiples, I get them more often. But like I said, just a quick overview of you guys right quick. The best defense weapon for yellows I've found out so far is the ice axe. Once I kind of figure out more for the other colors, I will definitely do a video on that. But yeah, so ice axe for defense for yellows, no question about it. You want to add a defender. You want to always, if you're on defense, you need the specialist skill first. Do that before you do the other stuff because the specialist skill is the most important part, and then you can add the other parts. Don't gamble because the odds are definitely against you if you try to add HP and then try to get in. I got extremely lucky getting stunned while I did that HP, and I probably will never get that lucky again. So don't try it because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work. So go for the specialist skill first, then add the defense, HP, or attack based off what you want. And I'm going to do a video also on team building because I've got some pretty good tips for that on how to build a solid team for really any situation. And it also, if you have the right team, even 4 stars and the right weapons, you can beat any team. I've showed you several times taking reds against 3 Andreas and I can still win and not lose but maybe 1 character. So I'll definitely do a video on that, but this was just a quick overview of the armory. I'll definitely do I'll figure out all the best weapons for each color, and I'll do a video on that for you guys, but really not too much else to discuss in this video. Well, I guess I got a weapon token. I'll go ahead and pull that for you guys right quick. And a 3-star, pretty typical, but I'm holding out because if you have territories unlocked, try to get a territory with a disassemble bonus like this. It's called the Lumber Mill, and it's in the Deadwood Valley region, because it gives you a 15% bonus item chance when disassembling weapons, so it gives you a better chance of getting duct tape or polishing kits, whatever you need. So try to do that. If you don't have territories, do multiple disassembles at the same time. That will give you the best odds of getting what you need. But with all that really being said, guys, not too much else to discuss in this video, so I'm going to end it here. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, this is your boy Z Gaming. Peace.